Hey guys, this is Cadma here from Bitten Apple TV. We are down here at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. We're here to get scared. We're checking out a lot of different films. We're checking out Cold Hell. We're checking out Joe Lynch, his movie Mayhem. It's going to be a blast this entire weekend. I'm very psyched and very thrilled to actually be here and be here as officially press. I'm such a dork, I know. But yes, I also would like to say thank you to Bruno to allowing us to come here. I'm really, really grateful for that. And I'm having a phenomenal time. Thank you guys so much, and be sure to stay tuned. In the meantime, click that button down there to subscribe, and let's get a little scared. Bye. Hey guys, this is Cadma here from Bitten Apple TV. We are down here at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. Now, I'm standing online. I'm not gonna lie, I saw you guys. I've been stalking you guys for quietly most of the evening because I think they look absolutely phenomenal. But right now we're here speaking with Dani as well as John. I heard your name. I thought of Dani, California. I'm not lying. Red Hot Chili Peppers all the way. So what I wanted to ask you is that when you guys saw Cold Hell, like, what did you guys think of the film? I think I had fun watching it, but I wanted to know what you guys thought of it as well.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy seeing a female in a role like that too. So that's probably my favorite one of the weekend.
I love the fact that every guy who just went up against her just got the crap beaten out of them. I was just like, I wouldn't mess with her if I were you. What did you think of Cold Hell?
Well, I really like revenge movies, and it was really fun to see a woman kick so much ass with all and all the fight scenes. It was very cathartic, and yeah, it was really fun and great. I like the vibe too, the cityscapes and the nighttime imagery. It was great.
Now, what did you guys think of Mayhem? Because everyone's done that 9-to-5 job at some point, and you're just sort of stuck like, oh God, why am I here? And it's the fact that that movie sort of focused on people, what they probably really are thinking. Did you guys have any jobs in particular you were like, yep, that's me, that's me?
Yeah, I've worked in a cubicle before, and it can be kind of isolating, and you kind of feel trapped. So I definitely related with the whole vibe with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse than having a bad boss or feeling stuck in your job. So it's just really great to see somebody while out like that. I definitely sympathize, and I just like the overall. I mean, the name of the movie is Mayhem, and that was definitely nice to see an office place. You know, I think that's, yeah, I want that.
It's like the upgrade of the Office Space. That's really what it is. It's really the upgrade of it. So now the best thing to know about them is that they are also filmmakers. They do their own style when it comes to writing their films, which I want to kind of get a little bit more into. So now you were mentioning earlier that you guys start with the music, which I think is pretty intense because I'm a writer, but I don't write films. So I can't imagine like using the music first and then trying to write it from there. So I wanted to kind of know a little bit more about your process and what you guys are doing.
So we compose the music ahead of time. Johnny does all the instrumentation and brings in a team of other instrumentalists to create that. And then I'll come in with the vocals and the lyrics that are inspired by different movies that inspire us. Our first trilogy was inspired by Dario Argento's movies about witches, so Suspiria, Inferno, and Mother of Tears. And this one's inspired by Wes Craven's movies The Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
I need to make more friends because you guys are freaking awesome. So when it comes to watching, you have to pick your favorite horror. Which one would you say is like your biggest sort of like influence when it comes to the horror realm?
One of my favorite horror movies is this Dario Argento movie called Opera. I think that was a big turning point for me, seeing that when I was much younger, because it was really eccentric and really visceral in terms of some of the like violence in it, and I thought it was really expressive and so unique. You know, I mean, those Dario Argento movies. Honestly, one of the things I liked about it was that it's dubbed in English, but like really badly, which is like kind of hilarious also. And I think that's like the original is like that too. It's not just, you know, the one for us Americans, you know. And I think at that time I was like looking for movies that had sort of a bit more depth to them than your sort of mainstream normal blockbuster. And so seeing that was like this really amazing to me, and I was a huge fan of his after that. And I think it just kind of spread to the rest of the genre in general, and I'm just a huge horror fan.
You're not the only one. I grew up like watching horror. I can probably tell you guys a little more crazy stories about my family in that regard for that. So now you guys are doing filmmaking, you're doing composing, you're doing so much. So what are your current projects and future projects that people can look forward to?
Well, we'll be releasing the entire trilogy next year. The one that's inspired by Wes Craven is called Nightmare, and you can find it on cruelbeautyproductions.com. And then we already started working on music for the next trilogy, so that'll be sometime late next year.
Am I allowed to ask what the theme for that one might be?
Secret.
You guys, we gotta make sure we stay on top of them, because I have to know what the next one is gonna be. Thank you guys so much for your time. You guys look absolutely amazing. I really love that. I do just want to point out, because I like the story that he told me earlier, that people were trying not to stare at the scar, but being really polite about it. How long did it take you to do the prosthetic for that and just sort of act like no one's looking at it, but they're looking at it?
So this thing today, our makeup artist, for her, this is very easy. She was able to do this with just her regular kit, but in the film, where I'm one of the characters, there's a facial prosthetic that I wear in that takes about 5 hours to put on. It makes me look like a completely different person. So this is like the quick version that I can like put on and like go around. I can like actually talk to you and like see and like eat and drink. And the other one I can barely see. It just has tiny little holes for my different like, you know, nose and mouth openings.
That is very intense, because I can barely sit still to get my hair done. So I applaud you for that. Thank you guys so much. You guys really do look absolutely amazing, and I'm definitely going to be looking out for the next composing music that you have. And I definitely want to hear this this Nightmare. Big fan of Freddy Krueger. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye.